Hey there, folks. Welcome back to Beulahland Farms. I'm Mighty Mike, and we're on, I believe, episode number 4. It is currently 10 o'clock a.m. here in the second half of September. Now, last episode mentioned that I was going to try to do a little bit more timber work, and I did. I actually got down pretty much all the trees on half of the property. So I got to thinking, I've sold some more pallets of lumber, and you see we're up to $147,548. Looked around the map, tried to find a piece of property that we could buy, and there's really not anything out there just yet. I could buy the property, but I'd have no money to buy any equipment. So I've decided to make a slight pivot. And what we're going to do today is we're going to buy a tractor. So let's go ahead and do that right now. And I've been looking around trying to find one that will work out. And there's a lot of options out there. I've got a lot of mods installed. But one that I am probably going to go ahead and get is this one here. It's the Volvo BM. And there's a reason for that. You'll notice it has 140 horsepower, only $51,500. So let me go ahead and get this purchased here. Let's make it a little cheaper there. Let's add the front weight. We don't need beacon lights. And let's see, what tire do I want to run on this playthrough? Let's run the Continentals if we can. And let's just see what our wheel options here. We'll just do the standard wheel. So no tag on this thing. It is an ag vehicle. We're not going to tag it. So let's go ahead and buy that. And the other thing we're going to buy is a tree planter. Let's see. Where is it? Right here. This one here we're going to buy. It takes 120 horsepower, which is why I went with that Volvo, because it will be able to pull this tree planter. And let's go ahead and get some trees. Now I do have the tree sapling mod installed, and I believe what we want, those pine trees over at the property are actually, can you oh, I guess you got to go in here. Let's see. Let's get this one with 120 saplings, and then we're going to plant wow, there's a bunch of different types to plant. Holy cow. Let's see, what are we going to plant? Scotch pine. That is what's growing in this area. So let's go ahead and buy that. Okay. Very good. So we have the tractor and the tree planter and our saplings. That should be plenty of saplings to get us started at least. So we spent a good chunk of our money, but we do have a tractor now, and that is good news. So if we need to do any tractoring work, we have that. And I'm just going to go ahead and load that there. And let's go ahead and... Ooh. I may not be able to get this on the trailer. It might not be long enough. Let's see. Nope. That ain't going to happen. Yep, that's not going to happen. Alright, that's fine. Let's just drive this thing down to the farm. Well, it's not really a farm just yet, is it? To the property. How about that? So yeah, between episodes, I was able to get a lot of wood. We have a lot of wood kind of stored up into both of our production sites, the Firewood and the sawmill. Both are sitting really well as far as capacity on the wood. Let's take a look at it here real quick just to show you. Yeah, 40,000 liters in the Firewood and 51 in our sawmill. So they're set for a while. Now I did mention, I believe in the previous video, that I thought the Firewood production was a little slower. Now I could have been wrong there, It is actually cranking out quite a bit of firewood. The problem that I have is not being able to sell it. So it is a production, it is making a product. You can see there all those bags of firewood, but I'm just not able to sell it right now and get a good price. So it's kind of, it feels like it's not paying off, but eventually it will. Hopefully. Hopefully it will. I have attempted to move those bags there. That is going to be something I have to look into, something else, maybe a big bag lifter, because the pallet forks just don't work very well. All right, so what I'm going to do is we're just going to try to repopulate or reforest, I guess you could say, this area of the property. The reason being is this is where our production is. So I want to have sustainable income here on this piece of property. So that will allow for an income to come. Ooh, down in the ditch go. Income that is steady coming in. We can keep the trees going and have products popping out rather consistently. And I believe these trees are going to be planted quite a bit closer than the ones that were here, so we should be able to get a lot more growth out of this area than we had from the native species. I just don't know how long it takes to grow off these particular trees. And so far we have taken the trees off of about half of this property. And I did drive out into that marsh just a bit, just so I could plant that last one there. I really don't know how close to go. I don't think there is a rule or anything. I don't know if the game recognizes the spacing from the trees. I think the growth is the same no matter what, so it shouldn't matter too much. But we'll give a little spacing just to make it a little bit realistic. So yeah, I kind of hated to do this this early on. Well, I needed to, but it's taken away from the funds going this route. But like I said in the beginning, I just didn't quite have enough. Yeah, I could have waited maybe another month or later into this particular day in game, but it just wasn't working out like I hoped it would. So sometimes you have to pivot and make adjustments. So that's what I decided to do. I have gone ahead and got all the stumps out of here from the trees that I did cut down. So we have all the stumps gone. I have reduced some of the underbrush. So it should be easier to get in and out the next time we have to harvest. And hopefully the next time we harvest, maybe we have more than just a chainsaw and a skid steer. Because that is another issue I'm kind of running into at this point. So, with the productions coming along, I've got the pallets and materials that we're able to sell, but it is it's kind of a waiting game. Once you go sell them, you have to wait for it to build up. So I kind of wish I had an easier way to cut up the trees and take them off to get them sold. Just selling the straight timber, just to kind of fill in the gap. So I'm going to look into that. The skid steer is working okay, but the gravel on the front is it's real touchy, grabbing the trees and holding on to them. So I'm going to look into something different there. I think at some point in the future. Not necessarily right away, but who knows? Maybe I decide to go that route. So we've used quite a few of these trees already. Let's see if I can get one more in. One more. What? Yep, there we go. Now, I really don't know how many we're going to end up using. You know, it may be a good bit of them. I did look around on the couple of sites of, well, the mod hub for the game, and then King Mods, and there was a couple of tractors I looked at that I thought about getting, but there was a little controversy, it seemed, with who owned the mod and who was trying to release it, and I try to stay away from those situations because I don't want to go grab a mod that there's some controversy about. So, you know, I want it to be legitimate and for people to get credit where, you know, their credit's due. Planted one there in the edge, so we may not ever harvest that one. Yeah, the other tractor I looked at was, I think it's the Beulahland tractor. There was a mod in there that had some that relatively inexpensive, but this one, the Volvo, I actually used that tractor on my Silver Run Forest series in FS22, and I liked it. It was a pretty good tractor, so hey, I'm okay with using it. It worked out good, and it met the requirements of what I needed, so hey, that's what we got. So let me run through. I've got a little bit more to do here. It's going to take a little bit of time, and I definitely don't want to plant trees where it locks me into an area, so I'm going to go ahead and we'll stop the recording here for just a moment. I'll finish this up, and then we'll see where we're at and what else we can get into on this particular episode. Alright, so now it is time for you guys to help out Mighty Mike. So I don't get to use everything in game, and sometimes some of you guys have some really good suggestions on how to move things. So I've actually got all the trees planted there. So what I need your help on is, if any of you have used this Firewood production mod, how have you found to best move the sacks of firewood? And I'll tell you that pallet forks do not work very well. They won't go under the bag. As you can see, it just wants to push the bag. So all you can do is kind of hook into these loops on the top, and it just does not seem like it wants to do it very well. And I don't know if you have to be right at the loop. I'm just not really sure. That is very difficult to do. So I was able to get that in. That's actually went pretty easy. I struggled on those two bags right there. You know what? Let's just take these over here. I'm going to move them over here just for now, since I have them hooked up. Yeah, those actually went pretty easy. But let me know if you've used something different to move these bags. I don't know if a big bag lifter would work a little better, or if there's something else out there that you know of. But yeah, please let me know, because I've got a lot to move, and I really don't know how I'm going to get it done. I'm imagining a lot of frustration already, but as we can tell, let's move these out of the way here. Just going to push those out of the zone, and we probably get more pop in. We have got, oh, actually we've emptied it out. So yeah, we've got a lot of bags of firewood to do something with. This is going to be I don't know that this is the right mod for me. Struggling with these big bag type lifts could be quite frustrating, I don't know if Universal Autoload would recognize these and load them up. Hopefully it will. Alright, just going ahead and move those out. That way any of the new stuff can pop right in. Yeah, we've got a lot of firewood. And, you know, looking at the pricing on it, you know, I may have just been better off putting down another sawmill because even with all that we've made, 26,000 bucks. It's a good chunk of change, but I don't know. I feel like we're probably making more off of the wood pallets over here. I don't know. Let me know what you think. All right. Well, I found something else to do. Oh, I saw a contract, and it had this big old case quadract and the new Summers disc or cultivator. I have not yet used that, so I figured, hey, why not? Let's give it a shot and see how it works out. So this field here is just, well, trees are in the way, but just near the farm, just actually right across from it down the road, just a tiny bit. And so I figured that'd be a good little contract to do. I think it paid out about 18,000, so we'll see what we end up with when we get back to the shop. But we are done here, just doing our last pass. All right, we'll get that folded up and we'll head on back down to the shop. So yeah, 63,000. I was like, well, let's go ahead and try to make a little bit of cash. We're kind of waiting on production at this point. We just planted the trees. Don't have a whole lot to do at this moment, so why not run a contract? And I do like sometimes using the contract equipment so that I can get a chance to use equipment I may not ever get a chance to use. For instance, this big quad track. It takes a long time to get enough money to buy something like that. So, you know, hopefully on this playthrough we'll get to that point. But with the Summers cultivator, I was like, hey, let's give it a shot. And it didn't take too long, so that worked out pretty well. And hopefully it'll be a nice little payday for us. You see, it is getting later in the day. It's already at 3:40 in the afternoon, so the day is winding down. Not a whole lot really left to do on this particular day. I could run another contract. Maybe I will before the day is up, just to make a little extra cash. Just barely fits on that bridge. All right, very good. That was a good little contract to run. So let's go ahead and complete that real quick. That is going to give us $18,431. So very good. I will take it. I will take it. So we're back up to 82,000. I got the truck and trailer down here, so I'll take that back down to the property and call it a day. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to click those thumbs ups. That really helps out the channel. If you enjoy the video, give me a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that right now. And then click that bell so you're notified of all future content. Thank you so much for your support and for watching my videos. Leave me a comment below. And each of you, have a blessed day.